those who don't know, Peglin is a roguelike peg busting game, where you drop orbs to break pegs, to kill enemies, to get upgrades, to kill more enemies with more pegs, dropping more orbs. However, there are many cool and crazy orbs that you can use, but today I've decided to challenge myself by only using the regular stones, boulders, and Orbelisks, which give you more damage for more stones and boulders. As it turns out, this strategy is actually pretty OP. But these bosses are pretty hard work, so let's see. Is it possible to actually beat the game with just this strat? So, at the start there's some good news and some bad news. The good news is we start with 3 stones. The bad news is we have a dagger. The gooder news is we start with a relic that gives us extra bombs. So let's start. 3 well-placed stone and a lot of bombs get us through the first stage without touching the dagger, but I resolve myself to having to discard it when it comes up. My reward for throwing stones is an obelisk, setting up the strat the best way possible. A Plinko machine in Encounter 2 gets us a Bouldorbs as well, which is another nice addition. And Encounter 3 allows us to duplicate our Obelisk. Our new loadout makes short work of some plants, earning us an upgrade and we move on to our first boss encounter. The boss encounter is yet more plants, which feel quite easy with my stones recently. It even ended with a bang and an upgraded Boulderb. We even picked up a dumbbell, giving us strength for each reload. That would be very useful if it weren't for the next encounter, where we stumble upon a mirror. I can choose between duplicating one orb or duplicating all my orbs. My obelisks grow with the number of stones, so there's only one real choice. Now it's treasure time and... oh yes. Oh, very nice. Up next is a load of bats. Unfortunately, my 2 Bouldorbs are up early and can't actually hit them. Thankfully, we've got stones for plenty of damage and lots of one-hit booms to get the damage done. Then the unthinkable happens. 2 daggers, back to back. I'm gonna have to throw one. Let's try and not hit that much though. Let's not talk about this. A few more hits and we're done. Heal up and on to boss number 2. A Minotaur blocks the path, but 2 of my now strong Orbelisks decimated. I think it's time for an upgrade. An OP orb and a new fleece for multiple crits. I think I found my killer strategy. Before the final forest boss, a Haglin comes up to me and gives me another upgrade, and I easily beat some slime and some plants. One final upgrade and we're good to go. The approaching slime is tankier than other enemies we have thought, and slowly approaches. Lots of stones into it, but it does manage to reach us, but it only has a slither of HP left. 1 bomb chucked from inside its guts and we are free. We grab a Boulderb from the boss and then get relics to choose. I look through and find the obvious choice. Even though it will require throwing daggers again, a double +2 to all stones is too good to pass up. So we enter the castle clutching our newly buffed stones. The first fight, against some guys with shields, flies by, even though I accidentally use a dagger to destroy some bombs. I then skip the orb choice as there are no stones on offer, and reach an altar. At the altar, I offer 1 stone to upgrade another. Honestly not great for my loadout really, but oh well. Next I dodge some fireballs and reach a ball hand boss thing. Lots of decent plinks, and an accidental 99 dagger crit leaves us in a good stage halfway through. Then it shifts. It edged closer, and I can't get that good a hit off. It's right in front of me, and then I have an obelisk. Why was I worried? Healing up to max and grabbing an echo chamber to up my power, we keep going. A random event relic is on the cards, and after a couple of bounces we get new boots. These boots are made for walking and they take us to the best random event ever. More stones at different levels. We have so many stones now that a flat base obelisk hit at level 3 is 17 and a crit is 32. The next fight stood no chance. First treasure gives more refreshes, and the second treasure buffs our stones further. Fear me, you pesky castle dwellers. My power is rewarded, it seems, as an Orbelisk stands in my way. I pray to the stones, and the stones deliver another Orbelisk. Another hand wall stands at the penultimate boss in the castle, although it's now no challenge and just gives me an upgrade as a potion. After a single Bouldorbs fight, I am ready for the big boss. And after another upgrade, that is. The ballista gets an early hit in, but I respond with a 300 damage stone. Another 300 stone later, and we're past half health, but another bolt passes us by there too. Thankfully, an Orbelisk and Bouldorbs are on the way. I should have more faith in the stones. Another upgrade, seeing an Orbelisk crit to 34, and we were ready for our castle relic. It's got to be the magnet. Who knew stones were magnetic in Peglin world? And now it's the dungeon, the hardest level in Peglin. The enemies here are scary and tough and... oh. Well, I'm sorry I doubted you, Stone. 5,000 damage that Stone did. Yeah, this run is going to be very, very fun. Shadowy figures put up a bigger fight, but they're no trouble, as I keep upgrading my stones. Next up, worms and kamikaze penguins. No issues there either. Boss time, and we probably get the hardest one. Old feet for hands guy. The trippy gravity here messed up my stones a little, but average 300 damage per throw did pretty well. Until old FFM had 3 HP left, and I had an Orbelisk. Maybe that's slightly overkill. I grab a knife relic for emergencies and move on. Then I meet the Peglin again. This time I do the smart thing and remove a dagger from my pack. They are honestly my weakest thing at this point. Up next, I'm ambushed by more kamikazes, but no issues occur, apart from the gradual damage from the red bombs that I'm throwing out. I'm down to 53 health now. Next up, ghost spiders. Plenty of bombs for paranormal pest removal, plus a boulder and stones, of course. Easy work. We're nearing the end, but there's still time for some more treasure. This stew is great, especially when it clears out more pegs. Then we reach the lanky boy and his explosive mates. This gave no issues, but did provide some of the most satisfying Peglin action ever. Just look at that wave. Grabbing a glove for some more power, we continue on to the final stretch. More shadowy figures attack, and this time they actually start hurting. We get off quite a few hits though, and eventually we get an 1800 damage obelisk that saves us, along with 2 bombs. A heal up, and we keep going. A pointless plinko machine occurs before we head to the next boss. Lanky boy had an older brother, it seems. This fight is less satisfying, and he actually gets some hits in. Thankfully, a 35 crit obelisk now, well, that's going to make things very, very straightforward. 78 health near the end though. At least there's one saving grace. Double the bombs means double the fun. One final fight stands between me and the final boss. And it's this. With ease, we get past the poles and explode limbs. Now it's the boss time. 81 health and a satchel of stones versus 4,000 health blocks in front of me. Let's go. And I think this was the moment that I realised my strategy and run were blessed. As the numbers racked up, the bombs exploded. I thought we were close to maybe taking a block out. 3,360 Orbelisk damage and 700 bomb damage. Those front 2 blocks didn't stand a chance. In comparison, the next 800 damage stone was pretty underwhelming, but I was just biding time. A couple more decent rounds, getting hurt a little, but dealing damage also, and my opening arrived. They were vertical, and I had another Orbelisks. I send it out, and it deals more than their maximum HP. This strategy clearly is the best method for winning.